Hey fellow freelancers, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another Anthem video. We got some great positive news for you all today, as we now have a March 15th loot patch update to go over today. That's right, the loot has been adjusted for Gm2 and 3, and apparently legendaries are rating like Skittles. We have new vanity options in the store, as well as some other funny stuff to go over here today, so stay tuned and let's get into it. All right, so we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Bioware released some concept art over on ArtStation, and I'm going to be playing the concept art in the background, or scrolling through the concept art in the background while we go through the news here today. So let's get right on into things, shall we? Starting off with a tweet by Chad Robertson, who says, "We've been listening to your feedback and analyzing in-game telemetry. We are boosting drop rates in the game for GM2 and 3 difficulty levels, as well as select enemies in the game." He goes on to say, "As mentioned previously, this is the first of a series of updates we're making to the loot and endgame progression. You can expect more updates in our next patch." Very good. And last up, he says, "This change is live in-game now, so jump in and enjoy it. We look forward to hearing your thoughts. Note, this change might take a few hours to propagate around all of our servers for players currently in-game, but if you're watching this video now, it's most likely propagated to all the servers." So let's take a closer look at the patch notes here. Game update March 15th, 2019. Various improvements to loot drops on GM2 and 3. And here AJ says, "Hello again, freelancers. In the latest server-side update, we've made some notable changes to the loot drop rate in specific scenarios, which will take effect immediately in server-wide tuning update. You will not need to download anything. These changes include Masterwork and Legendary drop rates have been increased for Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 difficulty levels. Masterwork and Legendary drop rates have been increased for harder enemies at all difficulty levels. This includes Legendary Titan, Epic Titan, Legendary Fury, Legendary Acid Ursix, and Legendary Luminary Elder." Now, he does say all difficulty levels, so this would include GM1 if you're farming Titans on GM1. There you go. As a reminder of Chad's post on Twitter last weekend, the team is planning to make significant changes to the loot in the coming months, but we started with some incremental changes like today's so we can better navigate the evolution. Stronger together, AJ. Boom. That is wonderful news, everybody. Sounds like the cries have been heard, and Bioware is in fact listening, and they acted on this pretty quickly. So there you guys go. Jump into the game and enjoy some increased loot. Let's see how the community is responding to these changes. A post here by I'm Suicide Sheep says, look, the new patch seems legit, and he killed a mob that dropped 2 legendaries. Holy moly. Next up, a post by Unsung Hero. "First GM2 legendary contract after the update, and I got 3 legendary drops," and he's saying that he has 90% luck. 3 legendary drops and all purples. Not even a masterwork. Oh boy, is this overtuned? Oh no. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. Next up, 3 masterworks and 2 legendaries within 10 minutes of GM2 free play. That's what I'm effing talking about, Bioware. Yes, posted by Dredgen 1994. Wow. So a handful of people are reporting that these changes are legit. How do you guys experience these news changes? Are you still playing Anthem? Are you in there? Are you experiencing insane drop rates? Does this get you back into the game and playing again? And if so, what are your reports? Leave your comments down below, and let's move on to some other news. So next up is a post by Arondaman by 1 hour ago, and he says, "Please, Bioware, give the bosses the possibility to drop legendaries. Even a small chance would solve the strongholds problem. Just like everyone here, I've been trying to do some strongholds for days, and I'm almost every time I find myself directly in front of the boss. There is only one way to solve the problem, Bioware, and the solution is what I wrote in the title. Everybody would keep on playing till the end, hoping to get the legendary, and problem would be solved. I repeat, even a small chance would help." And as this was posted 1 hour ago, this is on the new patch. So they did say they increased the drop chance for all these different things, but they did not mention bosses for strongholds. So this is a bit of an oversight. They tuned up everything for GM2 and 3, but forgot about the stronghold bosses. Is this going to cause new problems where people are dropping out of strongholds after the chests because all the mobs, the elites, and the chests are what you're going to be getting your legendaries from? The boss could possibly be be a waste of time when everything else is raining legendaries. Uh-oh. This post here says add legendary drop to bosses loot pools. This will likely help the constant monitor boss fights every single time I try Heart of Rage. This will give incentive to actually fight boss, especially if the boss has a higher drop chance for legendaries than the chests. So again, a cry to increase drop rate for bosses, especially for Heart of Rage. That boss is like the entire dungeon. That he takes forever to kill. He takes longer to kill than to do the entire dungeon, and there's a good chance that people are going to drop out before that boss fight. So I do agree that this needs to be tuned. What do you guys think? Moving on, March 15th, 2019, Vanity reset. So there is a new epic Jigsaw armor pack for the Rager, as well as the Salvager armor pack for the Storm, and some nylon sun-tiled fabrics, a decal end of the road, a cool spin animation, and metal welds material shader. Very cool. And moving on to something more controversial, power scaling why loot doesn't matter anymore math. I'll have a post to this down in the description below, as well as the patch notes, guys, if that's something you want to comment on and read further. So this one is very interesting. This person goes on to talk about the million damage ranger. Let me first demonstrate the fundamental flaw right out of the gate. If you have a legendary item, it does not matter which kind, you can replicate these results with relative ease. This is because the item itself doesn't matter anymore, merely the power score. This means the only viable inscription is the javelin wide damage % bonus, as it plays extremely well with the power scale equation. Note 2, this is merely an example. This is not a post exploring why you should wear one legendary piece and be a glass cannon. It is merely a demonstration of the system. Please continue reading. And there's a little post here showing create a Rager, equip any legendary, and if you have plus damage % bonus, it's going to increase, and then the result is profit. And as you can see, as a result, he's doing 140,000 damage a shot, which is absolutely insane. That's about the damage of a Truth of Tarsus. Holy moly. So in short, equipping one piece of gear is going to make you a glass cannon. Very interesting. Bioware has replied to this saying, I've checked with the team and this will be fixed in the next game update 1.04, which is coming at the end of the month. He made another post saying, spoke with the designer on this so I understand how it's being fixed. Instead of using many items you actually have equipped, the calculation will be done by how many slots you have unlocked. This means at level 30, for example, your average score will be divided by 11, even if you have empty weapon gear component slots. Now, there are people claiming that this may not potentially fix things, and I am still a little confused by why things aren't scaled based off power level. Shouldn't the enemies in GM1 all be kind of averaged out to, like, say a 400 item level? That way when you get up to 700, you're smashing them. And GM2, shouldn't the enemies be scaled around a 650 power level? That means that you would need something above 650 or 700 to actually be able to fight them. And then for GM3, you would need something like a 750 score in order to fight them appropriately. I think that's the way it should be done, but I'm not exactly a numbers designer in terms of back-end calculations. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm not smart enough, sorry guys, but that's my understanding how things should be done based off of other game examples. But who knows? Maybe this is the way to go about it. I don't really know. What do you guys think? Post your comments down below. Moving on, somebody says, holy shit, it worked. Confirm that you could equip a single legendary with your basic gear and just to run around punching the GM1 bad guys to death. Who needs loot drops? Holy moly. So this is crazy. Now, how is this going to affect the new GM2 and 3 changes? Are people going to equip one item and go out there and exploit the crap out of legendaries? I don't know. Maybe you'll just be dying too much on GM2 and 3 with one item equipped, because you are in fact a glass cannon, and most of the changes have affected GM2, not 1. But this does mean technically you could run around punching Ursixes out very easily on GM1, because those have been affected, and get your gear that way. Either way, this causes problems, but it's being addressed in the next update. All right, guys, let's move on to some funny stuff to end off the video on a high note, even though I feel like this is a very positive video for Anthem fans here today. Here we have a post by The Sleep of Reason. I feel like even Devil May Cry 5 is mocking me. The Golden Orb. It's a freaking masterwork. That's amazing. Next up. I bet it takes forever to load. I can't. Oh my god. Oh my god. The funny thing is, double-decker buses do take forever to load. It's the best thing I've ever seen. Oh my god. All right, here we have a video of somebody saying, Bioware, you need to fix the tethering. I almost lost my legendary, which is very true. Look at that. If we rewind that just a bit, he's about to be tethered. Boom, picked up that legendary. Not really funny, but I figured I'd throw it in here because we're going into the video portion of the news video. So, me when I drop a masterwork off an Artosaur. Ice, ice, baby. Look at that pose. All three of them. That's great. And this one says, back in the circle, you heathens. I actually did this in one of my earlier playtests with the Colossus. Nobody would stand in the circle, so I'd sit there with my shield and push them back, and they're all freaking wondering what the heck I was doing. Get in the circle, you heathens! And Bioware did respond to this one saying, that made me laugh and made my day. All right, everybody, so that's all I got for you here today. Lots of good, juicy nuggets in this one. Looks like Bioware is making the changes necessary, and this does give people the reason to jump back in the game and start getting those legendaries, although we could still make the argument that the legendaries don't seem that much more powerful than Masterworks, and the inscriptions still tend to not be very optimal. So it's going to take a long time to get the legendaries that you're looking forward to, but at least they're dropping. So I'm very curious to know how luck is turning around for people. Not the luck stat, but your luck in general. Are you getting good Masterworks and legendaries with good inscriptions? Are you feeling your character getting more powerful? Is this going to allow us to create more builds for our characters and diversify ourselves in our creative way to make some pretty cool builds? If that's the case, then Anthem's back on the radar, as people will be able to get in there and start having fun again, building some unique builds, and maybe you'll even get some people inspired to play some of the javelins that they're not mainly playing in order to see what kind of legendaries they can get on those. Anyways, lots to talk about there. Fire away in the comments down below, everybody. Love to hear your thoughts, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily Anthem videos, and if you enjoy the channel, everything that I do here, please do consider supporting it further at my Patreon page. Link is down in the description below. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.